From America's farm to Fort Capital and some of the richest farmland in the world, it's time for What's in Season with Michael Marks.
Well, welcome to this month's What's in Season with Michael Marks. What an exciting show we have for you today. I cannot wait to get into it. You know, May, of course, is the official start of the grilling season. So I'm going to walk down the produce aisle and we're going to get you excited about not just putting meat on that grill, but putting some produce items on that grill as well. You know, I love putting asparagus on the grill. It's one of the easiest produce items to put on the grill. A little bit of olive oil, it goes on the grill. As soon as it starts losing the luster, as soon as it starts losing the shine, it's done. Pull it off the grill. It's one of the easiest things to grill. I also love to put corn on the grill as well. Here's what I do with corn. I know you can grill it, put it actually right on the grill. I put it in some tin foil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and you see the pats of butter up there. I'm not done yet. We put 2 cubes of ice in there. 2 cubes of ice. Now, why in the world am I putting ice in there? That's because the corn is going to steam with all of that ice in there. So you put this on the grill right with your New York steak. It's absolutely perfect. Next, I love to do potatoes on the grill. I call these Katie potatoes after my daughter-in-law, Katie. So here's what we do with these, and I'm gonna leave the skin on and everything. So let's just cut these in half, and then we'll cut these into cubes. Very, very simple. Nothing magical about this. Cut them into cubes. Very simple. Put that right into the tin foil as well, and you can add some rosemary in there if you want, just a little bit of olive oil in there, and if you want some rosemary, that goes really good in there. And again, just put it in there like that. Goes right on the top shelf. Perfect. Now let's do some onions, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. I love to do onions. Now there's a couple onions you can do. I love these little cipollini onions. These cipollini onions are very, very cool because you can skewer the whole onion. So I love those cipollini onions. But if you got regular onions, nice, thick slabs of these onions. And then you just get your skewer and go right on through, and you can do several of these, right, all at once. And again, just a little bit of olive oil, and put that on the grill, and man, it doesn't take long. Just whip it over, just like so. Very, very simple. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget the pineapple on the grill. My goodness. You can put fruit on the grill. I love Asian pears on the grill. So what we're going to do here, we're going to just slice this into nice thick slabs once we peel it. Now, by the way, when you're peeling the pineapple, make sure you go behind the eyes, because you don't want eyes left on there because they'll poke you as you're eating it. So get all of those eyes off of there. So you've got that. Now we're going to do some nice thick slabs. Put those, the entire slab is going to go on that grill. Oh my goodness, pull that off. It is so good, you wouldn't believe it. There's so many other things you can put on the grill. You can put melons on the grill. You can put stone fruit on the grill. So absolutely perfect on their grill. By the way, when you're grilling, make sure cold things are cold and hot things are hot. Food safety is always priority one. When people come into the picnic table, make sure all the kids, grandkids, make sure the husbands, everybody washes their hands before they actually get into the picnic table. We're going to be back. I can't wait to talk to you about Slough House corn. Coming right up. You know, spring sweet onions, I love spring sweet onions, but you know, there's so many different varieties, and so many varieties are named after the location. For example, tell me, where's a Vidalia onion come from? That's right, Vidalia, Georgia. How about an Imperial Sweet? That's right, Imperial Sweet, California, in Imperial Valley, California. Walla Walla, Walla Walla, Washington, of course. So that's how we name some of our sweet onions. So I wanted to talk about what in the world is this. These are fava beans, ladies and gentlemen, not mava beans, they are fava beans. And these are so popular, especially this time of year. In Italy, right now, if you went to Italy, all the old Italians would be out back of the restaurant and they'd be shucking these fava beans. And once you shuck them, there's also a skin on the bean itself that you got to take off. So it's very difficult work. But fava beans are so popular with chefs, especially this time of year in the springtime. What do you do with a fava bean? Oh my goodness, just put some pasta on the stove, and when the pasta comes off, put the fava beans in. It's absolutely perfect. Now, fava beans, you cannot eat the shell, and I wanted to explain why. There are some edible pea pods and inedible pea pods. The edible pea pods are like sugar snap peas or snow peas, things like that. And the cell structure, let's talk cell structure here. The cell structure of an edible pea pod goes like this, right? It's all even. An inedible pea pod, like a fava bean, it goes like this. So you can't eat it. Very, very difficult to eat. So fava beans, so popular this time of year. Also wanted to point out, how in the world do you store your corn? Whatever sweet corn you're getting, how do you store it? I tell my beautiful and lovely wife, Julie, and I'm going to tell you, the last thing you buy at the store is sweet corn. The first thing you put away when you get home is the corn. Leave all the other groceries there, put the corn away. You want it ice cold. Keep it ice cold. And can I give you a hint? If you're not going to eat that corn within 48 hours, just go ahead and give it to a neighbor and let the neighbor enjoy that nice sweet corn. Now, speaking of sweet corn, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited. For many, many people, it is not summer. It is not corn season until they head up Highway 16, Jackson Highway, just a little bit east of Sacramento towards Jackson, and they stop at Slough House Corn. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Grimshaw from Slough House Corn. You started as a little kid, 1964, putting corn in Slough House.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
That was my mom's.
Your mom's idea.
Yeah.
So 60 years they've been planting corn out at Slough House. Now, first of all, what makes that region so good for corn? You got the Cosumnes River there. It's a little flood valley there. What makes that good soil and
Deer
everything?
Creek and the Cosumnes, it's a floodplain there that's for generations and generations. It goes down about 100 feet in sandy loam.
So that alluvial floodplain is just like perfect for that summer sweet corn. How many different varieties of corn do you grow, by the way?
Well, right now it's 4. I think we're 4.
4 varieties.
Yeah.
So 60-year anniversary this year. You guys put your first corn in 1964. Why do people love Slough House corn?
Mostly because it's fresh. You know, I mean, when you go out there and get it, you're getting it picked that day, that fresh, and so it's always tastes the best when it's fresh like that. You don't get that out of the market.
So you harvest in the morning, is that right? And what time do you stop harvesting during the day normally?
It depends. It depends on what day of the week and whatever, but it's early afternoon.
Early afternoon. So when it gets too hot, right?
Yeah.
The corn has the highest sugar content during the coolest part of the day, right? So at night or early morning hours, right?
Yes.
And you plant like every day. You plant, right?
Every other day.
Every
2
other
days.
day. Every 2 days.
Every 2
you're
days.
planting.
And when it comes in, the harvest is every 2 days.
That is awesome.
So that's about the length of the life of the corn, where it gets the sugar is just perfect and then goes over the hill within 2 days. So you're like always on that cusp.
You're always on it. That is so nifty. What do you love about corn? It's made a good living for you over these many years, right?
Yeah,
just selling corn out there.
It worked. It's really easy to grow. Of all the things that we grow, the corn is one of the easiest ones. You screw up to plant it too deep or too shallow. As long as it germinates, here it comes.
How do you like corn, by the way? Do you just eat it off the cob? What do you do with your corn?
I barely warm it up.
Barely warm it up.
It's either raw or warm it up.
I like your thinking.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, the only reason to heat up the corn is to melt the butter, right? So put the butter in the microwave and melt the butter in the microwave. You don't need to heat up that corn.
When it's fresh and the sugar content, you don't need butter or anything. You just heat it up and eat it.
People come from all over Northern California to come see you at Slough House, right?
Yeah, well, even further than that.
Really?
Yeah.
They come from all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's for, if you've never been up Slough House, up Highway 16, Jackson Road, and about 20 miles up there, you're going to find Slough House on the left-hand side, on the north side of the road, and just stop on in. Say hi to Rick if he happens to be there. He may not be there. He might be out on a tractor somewhere.
Who knows?
Or out vacationing or whatever. Anyway, hey, don't go away. The doctor is in the house. We're talking about the Mediterranean diet, plus something just for kids. Well, welcome back. I hope you've been having so much fun. You know, I've always said that if you just watch What's in Season, you're going to learn more in 30 minutes than most people learn in a lifetime. Well, not so much a lifetime, but you'll learn a lot in these 30 minutes. So glad you're with us today. I am so thrilled. We're talking a little bit about corn and kids. I always love to do something just for kids and the grandkids. So we're going to talk with corn. Mandy Bottoms is with us again from Ag in the Classroom. And so I have a joke for you. What does a kid call his dad corn? Popcorn.
Oh, that's a good one. These jokes are really corny.
I know.
I've got one for you too.
Oh, what is it? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
why should you never tell a secret in a cornfield?
Why should you never tell a secret in a cornfield? Why?
It's all ears.
Too many ears. Oh my goodness. So there is a lot of fun things about corn. Most people don't realize there's usually only one ear of corn per stalk.
Yeah.
That's usually only one, and most people have no idea that that's the truth. My goodness. And also, there is the silk here that you see. There is one silk for every kernel. It's not a captain, it's not a private, it's a colonel, right? And there's one silk for every kernel. So just for kids, what are we gonna do for the kids with corn?
Today we're making something called corn sunflowers, and it's something that kids or even students in a classroom can do.
Love it, love it. So how do we start with the corn? I notice you have some white and yellow corn here, what we call peaches and cream.
Yep, that's what I brought, and I cooked it just for a little bit in boiling water just to soften the kernels up.
A little bit, you don't mean
Just
30
a
minutes.
tiny bit. And then what you do is you cut each piece into about a 1 inch, I would say, round. And then this is what makes it so easy. All you do is you take a toothpick. I bought some that were a little bit longer, and you go ahead and stick it into the cob. It kind of looks like a lollipop this way, which I think kids like. And then you can decorate it however you want. Let me make a couple here.
Can I make one?
Yes, please.
Put me to work
because
here.
you want to eat one later
Yes,
too.
I do.
So you gotta
I
make one to
definitely
eat
do.
one. And then I brought some California grown olives, which are in season all year round because we can them and can use them all the time. And then you just use one of these and put it in the center. Kids like olives usually too because they're kind of fun.
Not just for pizza, but
Not
for your
just
corn.
for pizza, but for your corn. And then you put them on the plate like this. They're a fun aesthetic for kids to see. And then my kids like using different dipping sauces. So butter, of course, is a classic.
Okay.
But another idea is a little bit of mayonnaise and some elote seasoning. You can just put a little bit in there depending on how much spice your kids might like. Stir it up, and then they can actually dip their corn sunflowers into the elote before they take a bite.
Very, very cool. Tell me a little bit about Ag in the Classroom. We have so many new people watching us. They may not know what Ag in the Classroom is.
Yes, Ag in the Classroom is a nonprofit organization, and we have a really fun job. Our job is to help teachers, whether that's formal teachers or parents or homeschool families, teach their kids about where their food and fiber comes from. So we try to create resources, programs, grants, anything that will help it be really easy to teach kids about agriculture.
So moms, dads, grandparents, they could go online. Where can they find you online?
Yeah, we're at www.learnaboutab.org.
That's easy. Learnaboutab.org.
You will learn about ag.
and they have so much information on that site, and you can learn all about corn and all about the other commodities that California is so well known for. Mandy, thank you for being with us. Coming up, the doctor is in the house. We're talking the Mediterranean diet, so don't go away. Welcome back to What's in Season. I hope you've been having a lot of fun, but now the doctor is in the house. You all have heard about the Mediterranean diet. In fact, U.S. News and World Report said that it is the diet for 2024. Years and years of studies. And we brought Dr. Chelsea Azarkan in today to talk about the Mediterranean diet. This has become, it's not just a fad. It's really important, isn't it?
It's the most medically studied diet in the world.
What? The most studied?
That's right.
Over 50 years of studies, I hear.
Yes, correct.
So tell me a little bit about the Mediterranean diet. We think of the Mediterranean, we think of Italy and France and Greece and all in that region, right?
Yes. So the Mediterranean diet is basically a pattern of eating that's modeled after the way people eat in those countries because they have longer life expectancies, lower risk of disease in those countries, and it's characterized by being a primarily fruit and vegetable based diet.
I approve of that.
Yes, me too.
So Mediterranean diet, they have these blue zones around the world, right? Japan has some blue zones, areas of the world where people live to be over 100 years old. Mediterranean region is one of those regions, is that right?
Yes.
So why is the Mediterranean diet so important to us? We do not eat a Mediterranean diet, we eat a Western diet, which is not good. Tell me what makes up a Mediterranean diet.
So it's going to be about 50% produce, fruits and vegetables. You have a little bit of whole grain, so things like lentils or quinoa or complex carbohydrates. You have a little bit of lean protein and then healthy fats, so the things like the walnuts, the olive oil.
Olive oil, yes, olive oil is big in the
Yes,
Mediterranean,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So basically, if you ever traveled to Italy, if you ever traveled to Greece, find out what they grow there. That's in the Mediterranean diet, right?
Correct, yeah.
That is. So why is it so good for our bodies?
The list is pretty much endless, but the Mediterranean diet can reduce risk of heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity, certain cancers. It can slow aging, protect your brain, reduce depression. So there are many, many, many health benefits.
You
of the
just listed
Mediterranean
off
diet.
like a dozen things
That's
there.
just a few.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you live on a Western diet and your kids live on what's one of the easiest ways to get you to go towards a Mediterranean diet?
Yeah, so what I like people to think of as a plate, I use the Mediterranean diet a lot for patients for weight loss, and I want them to divide their plate in half. Half of that plate you want to load up with vegetables. You can put a little fruit on that half if you wanted to. The other half you're going to divide into quarters. 1/4 is going to be for your complex carbohydrates, so the beans or maybe a little bit more fruit or the whole grains. The other 1/4 is going to be for protein, and the Mediterranean diet really focuses on wild-caught seafood and fish because it's rich in omega-3s, which are beneficial fatty acids that help give you some of the health benefits. And then you're going to top it off with a healthy fat like olive oil.
I like that. So patients, when they follow that diet, what's going to happen to them?
Feel better, sleep better, better mood. Usually we see some weight loss, and then we also see their labs improve.
Their labs.
Yeah,
So,
so cholesterol, sugar markers, things like that.
okay, and it's not that difficult, right? We're not asking you to give up everything, just half of your plate. These non-starchy vegetables, right?
Well, absolutely. Most people are usually happy when I tell them if you want to improve your health, you can actually eat some potatoes and some fruit. Just eat it alongside some veggies. Most people like that. It's a lot of good food.
So Mediterranean diet is not a lot of processed food either, is that right?
That's right. Strictly limit processed foods and sugars.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Mediterranean diet. It's the big fad these days. And I hope it doesn't just become a fad for you, but I hope it becomes a lifestyle for you. Is that right?
Absolutely. So the Mediterranean isn't just about what you eat, but also about how you eat, sharing with people you love.
Okay, I love that. Dr. Chelsea, her prescription is more fruits and vegetables, and I approve of that. Hey, coming up, our chef Adam Peckel is with us today. We're going to do a corn buffet. Oh, I can't wait to show you this. Coming right up, so don't go away. Welcome back to What's in Season. Thank you so much for joining us. And I am thrilled because I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Chef Adam Peckel is with us again. Thank you so much for being with us. And I wanted to talk about corn and a corn buffet. I've always wanted to do a corn buffet.
Yeah.
First of all, as a chef, what do you love about corn?
Well, for me, I mean, all the summer produce is awesome, but nothing says summer to me more than corn. When the corn shows up, that's when it is officially summertime, and it's so versatile and just, it's sweet, it's delicious. You can do anything with it.
You can do so much with it.
So much
right?
with it.
Yeah, yeah. So what are we going to do here today with
Well,
sweet corn?
last time I was here, you brought up this idea of this corn buffet, which is something that I've done before, the sort of the Mexican street corn, the elote,
Yeah.
that I think most people are familiar with. They usually lather it up with some mayonnaise, some cotija cheese, cilantro, some of the tahini. That's the traditional. But the thing is, it's a great technique that you can spin a lot of different flavors into. You don't have to just do that version. So we're gonna do some other fun versions. And I'm gonna start with making a compound butter.
Compound butter. It sounds like a very. Do you need engineering degree?
I don't
to do
think so.
that?
You just need a nice food processor, which of course you have this vintage Cuisinart, which literally works better than anything else that's on the market these days. So I've got just some nice softened butter. We'll go in with that. And then for this, I'm gonna do a chipotle lime butter.
Ooh,
so
I like
again,
it.
kind of in the vein of that Mexican street corn. So I've just got some zest of one
Lime
lime. About, I don't know, a couple tablespoons of chipotles in adobo, just great from the grocery store, and then some chopped garlic here. And we're just gonna blend that up and get it smooth. And look at this thing, look at that, see?
Oh my goodness.
Again, you couldn't go buy a Cuisinart today that works as good as this thing. And you look at that, and almost we're there.
So you're right. You do not need an engineering degree. Just a couple of
I mean,
ingredients.
what was that, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
And we're there.
Okay.
And so now, we've got our steamed corn. I like to, for parties and stuff, we got a bad stick there. So for parties, I like to skewer them up. Of course, you could just serve whole, the whole cobs if you wanted to, but I like to do these for little appetizer parties. And we just get in there and you kind of slather it on. Of course, like Rick said earlier, you don't want super hot corn, right? You want it, warm, maybe room temperature, because of course this stuff will melt right off. And then you just spread all that nice, delicious butter on there.
Did you guys notice that official culinary term, slather?
I look well slathered, right?
Okay.
So now, and again, we're getting a little out of the box here. You know what's real popular now is these Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
No
The kids
way.
and the Flamin'
You
Hot
crushed
Cheetos.
them up.
So we crushed up some Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and we can go. Again, it doesn't have to be for everybody, but for those that like it spicy, let's do a little of that. And then we got some cotija cheese. And again, this is somewhat traditional, with just a little bit off the rails with the Cheetos, a little cilantro maybe. And again, you set up the buffet and let everybody kind of do what they want.
Choose what they want.
So that's a little traditional with a little non-traditional Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Another fun, again, any kind of flavor combinations that you like, add it to your corn. So I'm going kind of like the sort of a loaded baked potato style. So we do a little
Okay.
sour cream. Right? The sour cream and
I see some popcorn over there too. What are you doing with the popcorn?
that's dessert. So we've got a little sour cream, bacon bits, right? And maybe some chives. And again,
Perfect.
whatever things you like to do, there we go. And then
Let's do dessert.
For dessert,
I'm interested in this one.
we've got some salty caramel here.
No.
Why not? Why not?
Oh, that's awesome.
We'll slather it, right? And then why not, we like corn, so we take
Caramel
the
corn?
popcorn and then let's just put it in
I love
some
it.
popcorn. And then you could, powdered sugar or sparkles or whatever else you want, some chocolate. The world is your oyster.
Chef Adam Peckel, you did it again. You created a circus out of corn. This is awesome.
Yeah, it was your idea.
I hope it gave you just a couple of ideas there that you can have some fun with corn. Thanks so much for joining us on What's in Season. We'll see you next month.